Welcome to the Growth Boss Podcast, where we seek out the secrets to high-performing campaigns from some of the smartest marketers in the world. I'm your host, Gerrid Smith. Today, I have Jamie I.F. with me, and he's going to teach us how to 45x your affiliate program revenue in 10 months. Jamie is an expert in affiliate marketing, and he's made over $1 million from affiliate SEO by the age of 25. Now he helps SaaS companies grow their monthly recurring revenue through smart affiliate strategies. Jamie shares actionable tips on building systems that maximize affiliate program revenue, driving growth for SaaS, e-commerce, and digital brands. He has also created free tools like an AI quiz generator and an affiliate intro writing tool, while sharing insights through his podcast, YouTube channel, and X. Jamie's work focuses on turning affiliate sales into a powerful growth engine for businesses. Jamie, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. It's good to chat and good to be here.
Awesome. So Jamie, I know I would love to learn more about how to 45x our affiliate program. Tell us maybe a little bit of the backstory on this particular site or client that you were able to help. And then let's kind of walk through this step by step on how, our audience can do the same thing.
Sure. So it's quite meta. The SaaS that we scaled the affiliate program for was an affiliate analytics SaaS itself. And so we had like affiliateception on that front. And so when I started working on this, it was a smidge below $1,000 a month in affiliate revenue. And when we finished, it was a little bit over $40,000 in monthly revenue from the affiliate channel, so about 44.5x in total. And it took about 10 months, and I think we could have got it further, but we just stopped working on the project. And it's, it changes every year in that, like, a lot of the previous affiliate industry businesses, when you look into other areas like iGaming and Nutrient stuff, a lot of it is based on either one of two segments, like paid ads, like if you've got a good enough offer, especially on the info marketing Nutra side, and then you've got a lot of SEO traffic that funnels into iGaming, like casino gambling affiliates, which I've never done any work in, but like is a huge area of affiliate just because there's so much money on recruiting whales. And so for the SaaS game, it's actually a lot harder because while the good thing is that it's recurring, you need so much volume if you're a sub $100 a month SaaS to get that kind of volume.
Yeah.
That it's tough. And so the first thing we did around this was really send people as much as possible to an annual plan. So make recommendations for the UX design and the UI to funnel people towards annual, make it attractive enough to do that and throw anything else, priorities, customer support, whatever else you can do, extra training, onboarding that doesn't feel like you're excluding people who are on a monthly plan, but that just feels so much more valuable. So that then twofold is that you get increased revenue from the affiliate program up front. And secondly, it motivates affiliates to further promote you because now they get more money up front rather than having to wait a year and maybe seeing churn there if it is a business that has like less robust systems for managing churn in place. And also the industry, like some industries are more fickle than others that are more just I hate to think what some of these AI SDR startups that have got a lot of VC funding are seeing in churn because it sounds great. You try it, it's difficult, and say, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I'm sure it will get good eventually. We are literally fully AIing a lot of our stuff, but some industries are more tough to crack than others, whereas some are just LTV is 5.5 years. Cool. So the first thing to do is optimize for the most money up front because that helps get your earnings per click up, which is EPC, which is one of the most commonly used metrics for calculating affiliate value for an affiliate. Every click I send you, how much am I going to make on that when you average that over sales? And, that's how you measure it. If it's high ticket and you don't get a lot of sales, but they're high value, the expected value of a click is this many dollars or this much cents if it's below $1. Of $1, you start getting more traction there. One of the first things we also did was the SaaS that we were working on, they originally had a program where the commission structure was you get 50% of the commissions for the first 3 months. Which sounds good up front, and it's what I would do if I had big churn problems to still get that. But if someone stays 2 years plus, that actually works out to sub 10% affiliate commissions, which for SaaS is really, really low. And that will mean there won't be the same motivation for an affiliate to promote that because they want a bigger slice of the pie. And I think a lot of affiliate program brand owners make the mistake of seeing if you give away 30-40% recurring, I'm losing 30%, I'm losing 40%, when really that's revenue that you didn't have before. So in fact, you're gaining 70%. And is the difference between a growth and like unlimited mindset versus scarcity, I think, in that front. But I get that. Like, I build my own SaaS now, and I want all the money myself. Like, I get it. Like, I get it. But there's like an exponential growth that we see, and that like 10%, 20%, really you don't see that much growth in terms of like distribution from people being super willing to do promotion for you. And then at about 30% is when you start to see like it. And then like 40 and 50 is great, but like you get most of it at the 30. And that's when people will start voluntarily putting your brand out there, rather than you having to try really hard for the most part, especially once you're more of an existing brand. It is tougher if you're a newer brand, because you have to do the initial brand entity building, paying for some reviews just to get yourself like an actual brand at the beginning that you can be redirected to, start getting surfacing by ChatGPT and AI overviews and things like that, which is why we sell this as more like a holistic brand building. Just influencer and affiliate is one channel that you can do it with, because really like we're trying to future-proof brand for generative AI and search. And if LLM search is any way akin to Google and the way that all the current search algorithms are, Perplexity is mostly built on Google's way of like link focused rankings. ChatGPT is mainly focused on Bing's index, and all still default to brand. And so my prediction on this is, and what we tell our clients is that like in seeking just like do follow links, that's actually a bit reductive, and I think that's a bit old fashioned, in that like there's nothing wrong with having a rel equals sponsored link or a no follow link that like is still a positive sentiment brand mention, as well as like when you have an affiliate program, you're encouraging people to take up all of the like the share of voice on all LLM training data, on very rich sources of LLM training data like Reddit, LinkedIn, TikTok, and things like that. And so when you do this, yes, you give away 30%, but only about half of the people that find out about you have clicked on the link. So it's actually about half that. And you've just, built yourself you've outsourced brand building to advocates that do it for you. And it's pretty effective for doing that. The next thing though, after...
Hold on, I want to touch on that real quickly, because you skimmed over that and it's so critical, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. What I think I heard you just say is that only half of the people are going to click your links, and so you're only going to pay affiliate commissions on maybe half of the links that are out there, because people are going to, maybe look at these listicles. They may look at a couple different listicles, and then they may just go and Google your name versus clicking one of those links. Is that kind of what you were just sharing?
Yeah, and it depends. Like, there's different ways of measuring cookies, and different affiliate programs have different cookie lengths for this. But it may be that if you've got a 90-day cookie length and someone clicks one affiliate link, buys 4 months later, the credit is done. Or it may be that you watch a YouTube video that talks about the brand, don't click the link, unfortunately, but still buy. Or as a result of all of that organic, holistic marketing, brand building that you've done via affiliate and influencer and partnership channels, that people now are getting serviced it via ChatGPT recommendations. I Googled for software that I ended up buying yesterday for one of our SaaSes, and ChatGPT was great at comparing, better than Google. Perplexity is similarly great for making buying decisions now. I'm really impressed with how it's going. And those are functions of brand. These same engines that formulate answers and commercial recommendations are fundamentally risk averse, because they don't want to assume legal responsibility for sending you something that is not trusted and is not a big brand and is less likely to be real. And so they default to big brands and e-commerce now rather than affiliate sites for the same reason. And things that result in sales for SaaS, e-commerce, anything else, that stem from this initial strategy that can have outsized, but unfortunately for me as someone who sells these services, not attributable benefits.
Exactly. And you're exactly right about ChatGPT too. And we've seen that with our brand. When we do a search for keywords that are related to our brand, not actually the brand terms, but, money keywords, if you will, the sources that ChatGPT uses are all listicles that are all affiliate listicles. And so it's been a huge brand building exercise for us. And again, unless the user actually goes to that listicle, clicks the link, we basically get that free promotion from ChatGPT and from the listicle provider when we didn't pay for that. And it's been huge for our brand. We're considered one of the top brands in our niche simply because we have a strong affiliate program and we're everywhere.
Yeah, it's underrated. Like, a lot of these things that the difference is, I think a lot of people try this stuff. They don't put any effort into it, and then they're like, that doesn't work. And it's like, no, like, it's not rocket science. There is strategy, a high-level strategy, And from there, it's just tenacity. You can't, I mean, we're trying to automate, some personalization for outreach to have better results from our, if you outreach 5,000 potential partners now, we can do that at much better scale than we used to with better personalization. Great. That's a form of like automation. But for the most part, especially the really high touch, great partners that can do life changing amounts of money that require relationship building, that is a very human thing that requires a lot of human hours. And most people just don't do that. And they go, oh, it doesn't work. The referral program doesn't work. It's like, is strategy and tenacity. And the tenacity part is crucial to it as well. And now if you've done that, you've got over the hill and built a mature program that is now self-reinforcing, has organic recruitment because you are a brand that people know and people search for to join that program. Now you've built this flywheel of amazing growth.
Amazing. That's so true. And you're exactly right about the human element as well. When we launched our affiliate program, our revenue was extremely diversified over dozens and dozens and dozens of partners. But as time went on and the SEO game got more difficult, 80% of our affiliate revenue really comes from one partner right now. And we have to stay on top of building that human connection with them. They're, a huge website that ranks extremely well for a lot of keywords. And so you have to kind of play both sides, do the outreach, obviously get on as many listicles and sites as you can, but also, really invest in those relationships that are driving outsized revenue.
Yeah, and another part of the tenacity and time in that is that, like, once you've recruited people, you can't just leave them there. Like, people are either lazy or not, like, as motivated as you are to promote your brand, right? So you have to, like, spend the time to, and often, like, half an hour of, like, really intense research from an affiliate manager who's working on a client site or who is the marketing in-house person can unearth, like, amazing opportunities. Like, for example, let's say one partner has had great success because they included you in a listicle. But if you go and find that they've got 20,000 followers on LinkedIn and they're posting similar things that could work fantastic, offer to turn that listicle into a carousel for them that they can post on LinkedIn. Like with a coupon that means that the link in the LinkedIn post won't destroy visibility because of like links in posts like leading to less visibility. Give them a coupon so they can still attribute that from there. If you find out they're actually running a weekly newsletter as well, write them a really nice thing about how this specific angle could work really well, offer to write the content or to be helpful and supply any GIFs or media for that as well. That really think creative. Most people have never had an email like that before where people taken that much of an interest in them. And it usually goes down pretty well and builds a deeper relationship as well as making you enormous amounts of money per hour invested. And it's just like those specific creative things for partners can work so well, and they're still so underutilized because people just want to send one email newsletter to 1,000 affiliates every 6 months with here's all the stuff rather than actually building that deep connection.
I love it. Absolutely. So I think I maybe threw you off a little bit with the questions there, but let's keep going down this rabbit hole. We've maximized, the LTV. We make sure we have the right commission structure in place. What comes next in that process?
Yeah, so that's really table stakes for competitive affiliate programs. You need your in-house marketing team that you're working with. If this is you who's the affiliate manager that also has a general CMO role, then you need to be A/B testing everything to make sure that you are like completely CRO to the absolute brim, right? We're constantly testing using, there's various tools that people can do that with, testing for everything else. Another way you can do that is to test custom landing pages for specific affiliates if they want to do that. We didn't really lean heavily into that, but that is a thing that for other clients can work really well, especially if it's more like a creator-led brand rather than like a B2B brand where like they want to see the creator's face in collaboration with this. But for this particular case study, we got the program to a level where a lot of people in the niche were now more motivated to post about it and talk about it and do that. We also gave 2-month free trials to people who had enough audience that we felt they could convert at least 1 or 2 people. What you can do is, I think people just like when they're promoting a SaaS, they go, oh, here's a free license. And like, I've done that and like, it's nice, but if you give something away for free, it feels less valuable. And so what we do now is we'll say, I'd love to partner with you. I'm happy to give you a 90-day license so you can use it to your heart's content from there. And then if you send, and what we consider activated is 50 clicks or 1 sale. And so, if we can see some results there, a sale, we'll keep extending that from there. So there's like, they have to do their bit to keep sending motion, or they lose access. And they understand that the value more of what they're getting if there's like a clock ticking in the background on that.
Yes.
Like it's almost better than offering it for free in terms of motivation from them because the perceived value is higher. And so we do 60-day free licenses for this particular SaaS. A lot of people actually ended up converting and becoming paid customers from that. So it was kind of a weird customer acquisition method that kind of worked a bit as well. That got us to, I think, 10K a month. And from there, one of the things that absolutely blew it up, and everyone's talking about digital PR at the moment, and it is great, and I think that is one of the best ways to build really high value links that you can't buy. I mean, you can, but they're like $5,000 a link if you want to buy a link. I don't really want to buy a Forbes link or Business Insider. I want them to just write about me. And, digital PR is a fantastic avenue for those niche links that aren't on marketplaces, that aren't really like, you can't really get a link insert on, or they have editors that you have to get through to buy those links that are like more annoying than I want to have to do. Mm-hmm. And there's like not many people are talking about affiliate PR or mixing affiliate into your like reactive PR campaigns here. I'll give you an example that works really, really well with this brand. And it comes from the SaaS that we did this with, creates affiliate like CTAs, like the boxes that you can do to be able to send traffic from your affiliate site or brand to the affiliate page, like, the brand that you are representing. And they, amongst other things, had an Amazon integration. And they would use the Amazon API to pull in information on the current price, whether you'd get Prime, like delivery on that, basically in order to have the highest conversion rate and click-through rate on that.
Yeah.
Now, towards the end of last year, Amazon sent an email to everyone saying, we are discontinuing Amazon, I think it was Amazon SiteStripe. And so that was something where you could embed like the JavaScript banners in a certain way on a site. And some people prefer to do that rather than use a plugin on WordPress or anything else to be able to do that differently. So suddenly the world is panicking. Reddit is alight with people going, I've got 16,000 JavaScript snippets on my site and I have no way of changing these. And in 2 weeks, I'm not going to earn any money from them anymore.
Yeah.
Now that is a story. Everyone's talking about it. The brand search, if you looked at a keyword research, which shows 0, but in reality, it's thousands and thousands and thousands. And so that's why like you can't just trust like historical data. You have to be looking for these stories and trawling Reddit and communities to see what's current. We figured that if we built a very quick tool that translated the JavaScript from the out-of-date, soon-to-be deprecated SiteStripe links into the new API links, people would want that. As a general product-led engineering as growth marketing strategy.
Yeah.
But it meant that we could call up every YouTuber and influencer in the program, go, I've got the solution to this burning desire and problem. Yeah. Would you like me to make a video on it? And all they had to go was, here's how you fix your Amazon SiteStripe problem. One of them made one video and made like 15 grand in a month.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And so that that was a really big thing that encouraged a lot of growth, and a lot of that's sustained over time because now they're super motivated. They're promoting it more than ever. So we had the big burst initially, and that led to a sustained burst. And so I'll give you another example of affiliate PR because not many people are talking about this, and you have to be able to capitalize on these trends. Like when they come up, because they can do a year's worth of revenue in a day if you get this right. One of the team members of our agency, one of the affiliate managers that runs some of our client work, really, really talented guy, was the person who grew a VPN brand affiliate program over 5 years from $0 to $3 million in revenue. He absolutely crushed it. And I'm so glad that he's working with us now. One of the biggest wins he had was during the crackdowns in universities in Hong Kong a couple of years ago, where there was protests and it was seen as like a turning moment in like China's control over Hong Kong. As a VPN provider, had the idea of looking up all of his affiliates who were in Asia, in places like Malaysia, Singapore, and areas like that, and go, guys, I think I've got an angle here. You can talk about how you can get around censorship right now, and I think it's going to go quite well.
That's
and it
awesome.
Just exploded, right?
Yeah.
And so there's like affiliate doesn't need to be like passive in terms of outreach or finding campaigns based on existing content. It could also be topical and trend based. I liken it which is the reason I brought up digital PR, in that if you're doing PR movements, a lot of the time you can slot affiliate into that and use influencers and affiliates to amplify what you're doing originally to have a really outsized impact, as well as growing the affiliate program growth and getting more partners on side.
Yep. And the other thing about that I could see, and maybe you can confirm this, is that I'll bet you got natural links as well from other people, other blogs or publications that ended up writing about it, because I can see that being kind of a viral thing. Obviously, you have your affiliates that are jumping on the bandwagon, but they're also creating the opportunity for you to get natural press from that and organic links. Did that happen with that VPN campaign?
I would need to check with him for the results of that one, but I'm sure it would have. Like even beyond the links, like for us with this SaaS that I worked on their project for last year, there was loads of examples of Reddit mentions of like these guys have solved it, like, and things like that. And actually what happened was competitors then rushed to build the same thing, and like Like it was like this, like
you can't be number two.
Arms race of like how to get your, and theirs was manual. You had to input the site stripe link to get the new one, whereas we just like scraped your entire site to do them automatically. But it was like a quick PR engineering war, which was kind of fun. And then from there, really, like people, once you've got revenue, you need, in my opinion, you have to keep spending it on areas that you can get ROI from, not just to spend it, but like most affiliates now want money. And that's just a fact. Like if you, in the same way, if you outreach 1,000 domains now, you're going to get 500 guest post replies in 5. Yeah, sure, you can have a link like replies. Like it's just how it is. Like, and you can be diligent and resourceful to get around that. Like there's a lot of ways that we use to get around that. But the fact of the matter is, you do need to expand, especially for bigger influencers and for influencers who are bigger on channels that don't have as much click attribution. Like SEO is great because you go on the article and you can click the link, and most people will click that link. Good luck doing that on TikTok. Like it's just not going to work in the same way. Now there are ways to get around it with like coupons that you say out loud and then people use them, and there's attribution from there, but it's not as good. And most UGC creators will want money, and then you have to just hope that the benefits are really good because you make loads of money the same day. And there's ways, but like it's more abstract, right? The marketing like analyst in me is like, oh, I don't like that because it's uncomfortable. But you do have to then, if you want to really scale something to be mainstream, now I consult with brands I can't talk about, but like, we'll do revenues in the hundreds of millions. Like you can't go and just do outreach to everyone anymore. It has to be huge campaigns that can drive things that make a difference to executives that don't care about anything less than 500,000. And for those people, like you can't like get bogged in the weeds for attribution. And on a micro scale, like again, for this particular brand, it was a matter of finding all the newsletters, community leaders being school groups, Facebook groups, Slack groups, circle communities, embedding into there and like becoming like, building the relationship with the tastemaker or leader in there and introducing it into there, which again doesn't really work when you're $100 million, but does work when you're trying to get to 100 grand a month. Correct. And those are really powerful. And another thing that people aren't talking about. And that was another thing. And it's fine if you have to pay someone $500 or even put them on a retainer for $1,000 a month, as long as you can attribute that and you can go, all right, now make me money. And the great thing about paying people lots of money is you now have way more right to go, make it worth my while. And like exactly, like when people get mad about like paying high salaries, like, and I'm fine doing that because then I can just go, what you're on, sort me out. Like it's the same thing with like affiliates and sponsoring people. And so one of the other things we did was test sponsoring a variety of people. We did a lot of newsletters, and my rule that I tell people that ask about newsletters now is 99% of them are worthless and 1% will make you rich, because some of them are so good. And once you strike gold with a newsletter sponsorship, it's incredible. Like you make so much money, like 5x ROI in a day. And then like that doesn't even account for the brand growth that you'll get over time after that. Like it's insane what we did with some of them. Like you should literally, so we do run like a free software for this stuff. And one of the things that we built, like especially for this, was like campaign specific tracking. So that you put in like your sponsorship, like whether that's a TikTok video, LinkedIn sponsorship, whatever, newsletter, and you put in the price, and then you get a specific link from that. And then you can track campaigns for the ROI in like one little dashboard. So you can just run all these, find the winners, and then double down on that. And I wish I'd had that at the time because it would have made this a lot easier. But like once you find a winner, like people are like, oh, that was good. And they just don't re-sponsor. I'm like, no, just keep doing it until it doesn't work. Like scale that. And so that's what we did. We found a newsletter that we'd put $1,000 in, get 4 or 5 out every time. And then that was a really great way of doing that. And then, not only are they making the sponsorship, and often they'll come down once they see an offer's working. If you have to sponsor to get in front of a really good influencer, just pay the money. It's just like the way of getting past the business deal. Just give the money. Now we're friends. And often if it converts well, if you've got a good offer, they'll come to a CPA affiliate only deal over time because you've built the relationship. They can see that it works. And now instead of paying $1,000 up front, they see they make 1.5 off the newsletter, and now they just want to do that deal anyway. And so it all comes back from doing the initial table stakes work of making your program lucrative enough to do that. And then all you have to do is like, buy an hour's consulting with them if they're a person, or do whatever it is, make them feel like they owe you, get in the conversation in the room with them. Now you can talk properly without this same boring, like outreach. Like, we do outreach, right? But like, I'd rather just send you a birthday cake or something random that makes you go, oh, no one's done that before and now we're friends. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it has to be like novel and like new. And for affiliate, that can be, like I said, buying a consulting hour, paying them the $150 for an hour of their time and chatting to them and building the relationship. And now you can work together after that. Sponsoring the newsletter, sponsoring a thread on X, sponsoring a LinkedIn post. And now you've got the relationship. And if you can build that affinity with the brand, now they'll do things on affiliate only, which is much better for you because you only pay on performance, and then you can scale it from there. And that's what we trended towards the latter end of the year of that campaign.
Yep. I love that. You know, it's funny because last week I'm launching a new e-commerce brand, and I was talking with my sister, who's my partner on the brand, about sponsoring communities on School. I'm like, here's a community of 100,000 people, and you know, we could build a relationship with the owner. They have incredible influence on that, and I love these ideas of buying an hour of consulting of their time. I didn't think about that, or just figuring out some, not backdoor way, but maybe not an obvious way to build a relationship with them so that you can easily get in the door. And again, once you pay somebody a couple $100s for their time, they are so much more likely to want to work with you in the future on other deals, especially if that first project went well.
Yeah, exactly. It's just as soon as like someone feels like they owe you, now you can steer that to the thing that you want with that. And money is an easy way of doing that. Like, I also tell some like SaaS founders that I'm in talks with, like, you know, these are things we can offer people to try and get the price for your sponsorships down. And it's things like, you know, you've built this SaaS on XYZ. You are clearly an expert in HR, whatever that may, you know. If one thing we can do is offer them 15 minutes of your time to talk about a problem they're having, and that will often mean thank you so much. You know, I really appreciate this favor. I'll put links to you in this article and this article that has traffic. You know, one thing is you can offer them. We're lucky enough to own a pretty good network of sites and have good relationships with a lot of other sites that have a lot of traffic and valuable links from high authority domains, and we can offer those to place them in a post that we're placing to help them in return if they place the link or place our client in their article. You know, we'll give you, you know, you're a DR55 with 10k traffic and this page that we want has 100 traffic. We'll place you on this other page that's DR75 and gets 2,000 traffic, you know, whatever that means. Yeah. Maybe, probably not that much. I'd probably charge, you know, a lot of money for that one. But like, you know, you can try and do these things that in whatever matters to them. And even like, so what we do now is not really limited to like affiliate outreach. We're also trying to create like B2B complementary partnerships with other brands with adjacent but not the same niches, but complementary audiences. For example, if you're a keyword research tool, you might partner with a content optimization tool because they're all SEOs that have like the same audience, but you're not competing. But if you have like a lot of these SaaS brands have massive lists, like 100,000 plus people, and they're not using them. And like one of the great things you can do is swap. They actually do a swap for swap. And like that's like another factor that you can do there as well. Is the point, like it's like beyond the affiliate stuff, like this is another untapped thing is the co-promotions as well, which we actually did do a little bit of, mainly on Black Friday, in that we bundled the Black Friday deal. We didn't want to discount it. We just bundled free stuff from like complementary products that we did deals with for like to be cheaper for us, and then it felt more substantial. And then there was affiliate deals on all sides because people think that affiliate is on partnerships are just people and advocates, but actually you can turn brands that you've got a good relationship that have audiences that are your ICP into partners if you can make it worth their while. In the same way that some people do like these ABC link exchanges, or they'll do like, you know, two SaaS brands that are doing outreach will say, we'll put you in the guest post that we're placing if you place us in those. And there'll be a ledger for we got you this link, and whoever's ledger is longer, you do makeup. You can do the same sort of thing, but with SaaS or like anything else for affiliate revenue. We put you here and we did $5,000 for you. We put you here and we only did 3. Okay, now you got to make up 2K before we do the next sponsor, like before we do the next one. Love that. And you can do these things and get in front of audiences far quicker than like, and cheaper than, you know, to get in front of a 1,000 ICP audience in SEO, for example, like let's use an example, you're looking at like $30,000 of display, like of meta ads, but you can do that in one go as long as you're willing to give them access to your audience. So it has to be like non-competition but adjacent, like complementary audiences, and that's another really untapped thing as well. And affiliate links there, I mean, SaaS brands aren't typically bothered about the revenue because they're typically doing all right, or they want to prioritize other methods of making revenue from their core product because that's what people will pay 5 to 8x ARR from rather than affiliate revenue. But it's a great ledger of tracking for who's done what, because clicks are fickle and revenue is all. And you can track that in this to see who's done the most, and then you can do and build the partnership from there.
That's super cool. So clever. And again, I don't think people think enough in terms of complementary audiences. Again, the e-commerce brand that we're launching, we're looking to build the #1 nutrition brand for entrepreneurs. Okay. And so you jump onto School and what do you see? Tons of groups for different kinds of entrepreneurs. Very complementary. We're not competing with any of those guys in any way. And I would love the opportunity to do a deal with these group owners where they have an audience and maybe we have an audience. We're non-competing. We can figure out how to work together to grow both of our companies. And again, I love the affiliate angle with that.
Yeah, it's especially on school where everything is so like linked, like a web page, like an SEO, like it's like link,
Yeah.
click on a link, right?
Exactly.
But it can still work so well, even on video with less click attribution, like especially for like e-commerce where like it's just like this, like if there's some angles are just so good and they absolutely crush and you can get like $1 million in a day if it goes viral. And like these people that also have communities often, like even if they're on TikTok, you go like, all right, well, like here's another angle is actually you can get in cheaper. If they're really strong on TikTok, they ask for all the money on TikTok, right? But you can get in like cheaper channels, do a good result, and then you get the price down by more for their main channel. But like as long as they don't have an offer that is like in competition or that is so expensive that they only want to focus on it. Like the problem with some of our industries is that everyone wants to run their own offer that is so, these 5K masterminds on school. And it means that like when you're trying to offer them a product that's $100 to promote with you, it's just not worth it because they want to just promote the main offer. But the best thing is when you find influencers that sell something relatively low ticket and your 30% commission is a sizable enough upsell on top of their original product that now they're motivated to do it because their average order value goes up significantly enough that now they're really interested in it. Which is the problem with SEO, and that the best affiliates, potential affiliates, like that for some of the SEO clients that like SEO tool SaaS clients that we manage, is the problem is that they're also rich. Like, it's very difficult to get like some of these guys to promote because they're like, I make so much money that like I don't care about this kind of stuff anymore. It's like the best niche is the ones where all the influencers are broke and they have big reach.
I love that. Which is, again, let's go back to school. You've got these communities that are maybe free, but they have $50,000, $100,000 on there. They may be struggling to monetize that. I don't know. I haven't reached out to them yet, but again, they're not making $500,000 a month on that community, more than likely, certainly not from subscription fees.
Yeah, there's even an angle where like we're building some niche SaaS brands now, like ourselves. One, because we can get case studies out of growing them via these things, but also they're very generous free tiers. And people are obsessed with building newsletters now to just sell information. I think that's kind of dumb. No offense to anyone who sells information. If you haven't got a high ticket product in the end, I think you're under monetizing. And so what we are finding now is that you can build newsletters for far cheaper than typical paid by just having a product on the end that then people will run affiliate for. And it's just an excuse to build an audience. And that audience is often much more valuable than the total value of the product itself. And you can sell audiences for pretty good multiples nowadays, especially as impressions get more difficult to drive, ads get more expensive every year. And, real brand affinity and that intangible like X factor of like love and affinity for a brand is pretty valuable. And so another factor is that you can just use it to build newsletters now, like for an e-commerce brand. Like if you'd send people to like quizzes for like, that take emails in there, or like anything else that like anything lower ticket, like a digital product. Like we've done this before. We funnel hacked Etsy to build a 30K newsletter in a few months for free because we'd run Etsy ads to really cheap products, like $2 like digital products, get all the emails off there and then sell them on high ticket stuff after. And you can like break even on the low and then do the things on the high. You can do the same thing in e-commerce to build massive audiences with like really like cheap or any other lead magnet type of thing that you can give away via the affiliate traffic, as long as you can still track that and give people the commission that they get for anything high ticket on the end. Build enormous audiences, and if you've got 500,000 email subscribers, that's probably worth as much as the entire brand for the e-com side. And so the audience building stuff is underrated, and getting other people to do your marketing as a lazy person is something that I very much enjoy preferring.
Oh, I love that. It's funny that you mentioned this because as part of this e-commerce brand, we are separately launching a newsletter because it's cheaper to acquire customers for the new newsletter. And we believe we can build enough, goodwill with them to be able to then sell our product. But what I hadn't considered was the affiliate angle. We were just like, hey, I think we could, get cheap traffic on X, acquire a customer for a couple bucks, which is way cheaper than what we could acquire them for if we were promoting a product. But talk to me about the affiliate side of that. Let's say, we do acquire customers through the affiliate angle. What would you pay for promotion of a newsletter? Because again, I've never really looked at it from the newsletter angle.
Sure. So those are two different things. When we're growing newsletters, what we do is we pay influencers to put our lead magnets in the email, not the direct product. Just
Okay.
like a lead magnet that historically like people jump for joy at. Like we
Yeah.
have one, for example, that every time we post it goes viral. It's like this SaaS backlinks one that's like lead gen into our own SaaS like agency and the SaaS that we run, right? So it's like, here's 170 directories that you can submit your SaaS to. It goes viral every time, like crushes.
Yep.
And so all you have to do, like, I don't like buying ads or sending people to a conversion thing. I'd rather gradually own your soul. Like, and that's why I don't like buying ads to landing pages. I will just buy them to a lead magnet and they like make you fall in love with everything that we offer, right? And so I don't like putting like, here's content wrap to the SEO optimization tool. Like in a sponsorship, I'll go, here's the encyclopedia for semantics and NLP for optimizing your content to our 6,000 word, and it has to be, the meritocracy here is it has to be really good.
Yes.
And then people actually love it, right? Because they see, you could have sold this and you gave it to me for free. And you send them there, they fall in love with you. There's attributable links in the lead magnet itself. And everyone who has downloaded this, they go to your landing page, the CTA that then get in, is now on your list and is going through a funnel and getting told about your brand at the same time. So that's how we do email list growth for SaaSes on that front. But you can also do it via freemium SaaSes and other, I'm sure it can work in a way for e-commerce. But for example, we purchased a SaaS tool called Answer Socrates about 4 months ago. It was about $25,000. And we bought it because it had loads of traffic and it was not collecting emails. We made it so there was an auth where you had to put your email address in to use 5 free searches a day. And that was great. It got about 40,000 emails in 3 months just organically, which is pretty mental. And like people are like, oh, why do you buy tools? And like in the same way, I don't want to buy like ads. I just want to buy audiences separately, right?
Yes.
And so like to buy those would be $1.50 each. So that's $70,000 in cost that we bought for 25 grand in 3 months, right? And so we can keep doing that. Then we moved the affiliate program onto that and built a paid version on top where you get more searches, more advanced results and things for the keyword research, deeper SERP analysis and stuff like that. And now you've got other people sending traffic, which joins and builds the newsletter. And like if they upgrade from the freemium part, now you've got that. But because it's so easy to like give your initial information, now the affiliate is seeing lots of potential upgrades because you can see leads versus like actual paid conversions, and you're building audiences from there. We're getting inundated with people that just want to sponsor this list now because 40,000, 45,000 people are there who are their ICP, who, these digital PR agencies want us to send them the referrals. We're trying to segment the list better so we can better understand it because, that in itself is a separate gold mine. We're having big brands that we may do this for offering us, thousands of dollars a month just for the pixel data to rent that, to run ads better for the ICP on it. So like if you can build audiences, like you don't just have to sell the final product, as though if you can sell something really expensive, then great, just make millions of dollars off a really expensive high ticket product. But if you don't, like the freemium audience building model is really good, and affiliate is a great way to send traffic to it.
I love that. So cool. So anything else that is really important for a brand to get and build a successful affiliate program?
Come with the right expectations. Like when we tend to avoid now brands that are new, that don't have an affiliate program or that are like under $1,000 a month, just because if we're going to take them on, they have to have the right expectations. Like this is kind of like SEO in that like at the beginning, you have to outreach everyone, negotiate with everyone, get them activated, get them sending traffic, get them recommendations how to improve that. You aren't as big a brand, so you can't get hold of the biggest people. The budgets are typically lower. And then you start like getting that. And about 6 months in, it's paying for itself. The ROI is there. But like, we don't want to sign a 3-month contract with someone that's not going to see the results when we can do a 6-month one and begin to show that. And so the main part of that is expectations, and don't quit before you hit gold with that. As long as like some offers can't scale, the offer has to have the potential to scale in the first place. Otherwise, you have to do 100 times more work to get someone to promote a bad offer that they're not going to make money from you. Like there has to be a win-win there. The second part is once you've got a mature program, there's a different type of success. Different people are good at different things. Like the outreacher type is more of like a BDR, like needs to be good at closing deals, building relationships with people, outreaching, just like a killer that you can pay on the KPIs being successful affiliates that are activated, recruited, that are sending money, and they might even get a piece of the revenue that those people generate if you want to do a performance-based deal to get really good people who can do outreach for you. Once you get to a more mature affiliate program, it becomes more of a relationship management, account management role where they can like manage the best people, jump on calls, keep the relationship going, keep people making stuff, as well as the data visualization to be able to go, oh, that person sent double as many clicks last month, that person sent less. How do we start this conversation to be able to rectify that or expand the good parts? And so different types of people, and we have both in-house, fortunately, for these types of people that can work on different accounts, like are better at different types of things. And at the beginning, you need someone who's going to really go on the sales side and build those relationships and recruit affiliates. And for more mature affiliate programs, which you prefer, because it's easier to take an affiliate program from 10 to 20K than 1 to 10, and easier to take it from 5 to 7 million in a year than 500 to a million. It becomes data driven, using your time most effectively, because your time, depending on the size of the team, becomes more valuable, and you can't go after the lowest value common denominator with some of these things. You have to focus on the big whales that can really crush stuff for you, and automate the bottom 80% and crush the top 20. And there's different stages, life cycle stages, and they require different skill sets as well.
Yeah. I love that. Well, Jamie, this has been a phenomenal episode. Definitely one of my personal favorites. For people who do want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Sure. So if you are a SaaS founder and you want to grow your affiliate program, we have a completely free software that you can use and chat to me on Intercom there. It's called endorsely.com, endorse Ly. If you don't want to do it yourself and you want us to do it for you, you can chat to us there. We are booked out for a couple of months. We're pretty full up, but if you have minimum, $3,500 a month plus performance extras, we do that as well. My name is Jamie I.F. My website that I personally blog my thoughts on is increasing.com. You can go to my newsletter. Got about 10,000 people that read the newsletter every week on there, which is increasing.com/newsletter. I'm also on Twitter, much less active than before because the reach is non-existent and I'm a bit washed up nowadays, but I'm Jamie_IF. And now I'm more on LinkedIn because you can actually get decent reach on there now at Jamie I.F. And the same on YouTube, though I don't really post on there either because no one watches it and I don't have the time.
I love it. Thank you so much again, Jamie.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And great to chat.